Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Christy Van with Fantastic Finances, and on this channel I teach Velocity Banking. First, I want to say thank you for all of the wonderful comments that you guys have been putting under the videos for this week especially. I appreciate that you appreciate that I share some of my personal life and adventures that I have been through, and not so adventurous moments, but at the same time, life is life. We get knocked down and we stand back up and we keep digging, right? So I just want to give you a message of hope and to know that someone out there is going through what you have already been through, and it's important that you share your story with them so that they realize that you can come through on the other side smelling like a rose. You just have to keep the faith and keep moving forward. Now, in this video, I am going to go over a scenario that I had with one of my clients, and she is in a current $168 a month negative cash flow. How can we turn that into $730 positive cash flow today? She wasn't aware that she already had everything she needed. She just wasn't using it, and she wasn't using it correctly. So let's look at this scenario. Her income is at $5,400 a month, but her expenses were at $5,568 a month, which left her with a negative of $168. Look at all of this. She has all kinds of credit card debt here. It's not really out loud and huge, but it is a lot. This one right here at $16,300, she's going to use this one as her expense card. So when she uses this card as her expense card, she's going to cut down on the interest that she's already paying $231 a month in interest out of a $300 a month payment. Do you understand now why she's having such a hard time getting this card paid off? Now, she has a $15,000 line of credit, and it is at a 12% interest rate. So to transfer some of this debt into this line of credit will bring her negative into a positive. How does that work? Well, we're going to take Citibank and pay it off and put it in the PLOC. We're going to take the credit union loan, pay it off, and put it in the PLOC. The same with the PayPal, the Credit One, Sephora, TJ Maxx, the Pottery, and Fortiva. So we went in and we transferred some of this debt into this PLOC, which brought her to a balance of $14,870. What did it do for her cash flow? Well, when all of this was paid off, all of these payments here, they went away, right? So if you add up all of the totals of the credit cards that she's paying off into this PLOC, you will see that she has gained a cash flow of $898 per month. Now remember, she had a negative $168, so of course that has to be subtracted out of the $898, which leaves her $730 a month in cash flow now that's going to do nothing but bring this account balance down every single month. So as I teach in all of the videos is your income goes in and that satisfies the payment on this line of credit. I get that question on every single video. What about the payment for the LOC? Well, here it is. When that went in, the payment was satisfied. That's why you don't see me adding a payment in for this line of credit. That would bring the balance down to $94.90. Now here's her interest. Let's talk about the interest for a minute. The interest is being charged at 12%. The bank calculates the average daily balance and charges the 12% on that amount. I took it off of the high. So the interest at $149 is on this $14,890. Is her interest going to be that high? Absolutely not. They're going to do an average daily balance. So it would average between the high and the low, basically. So it's going to be a little less than the $149. How is this significant? This seems like $149 in interest. Is that high? I don't know. Is it? Let's look over here. On these 4 cards alone, she's right now paying $458 a month in interest. If she can help back this card off by using it as an expense card, turning this $300 into cash flow, and when she put these into this line, she's gaining the $193 in interest here, $27 here, and $7 on the PayPal. That is a lot of interest that she's paying on just 4 cards. So for all of this to be transferred into this line for $149, I think that's an excellent trade, don't you? So the interest on this account would average approximately $149. So now more wealth is going into her pocket to pay off the principal of all of this that was transferred into here, okay? So this $14,890 that she had divided out here that was drawing its own interest, because some of these interest charges were over 28%. Now we're in a 12%, and we're working the balances down with her new cash flow. So her total expenses are at $46.70. How did I get that? Well, the expenses up here was $55.68. But now that we get to take off $898 in payments every month, that brings this expense total down. So the expenses will come out sporadically throughout the month, right? We might go to the grocery store today. We might stop and get gas tomorrow. The next day, Netflix may need to be paid. So you have the expenses coming out throughout the month, bringing her balance back up to $14,309. Then again, in month 2, her income goes in, her expenses and her interest come back out. Then she's going to put $2,000 onto that credit union Visa. Why? Because everything she can put into here saves the interest that she's paying over here, right? She's bringing the average daily balance down. Yes, it's moving it into here, but we already know she's saving interest when she transfers it into this line. So that's going to bring her balance back up to $10,261. So I left the expenses at $46.70, even though when she pays the $2,000 onto this Visa, that's going to satisfy the payment for this month, which currently stands at $300 a month. So that could be a little extra that I didn't even throw into this balance here. But then we're going to add the interest again, bringing her balance to $15,007. In month 4, her income's going to go in again, bringing her down to $96.07. All she's going to do is revolve this account, income in, expenses out. But for how long? She's already worked 4 months here. She's going to work for another 13 months approximately. So in approximately 17 months, she is going to have paid off this account. Yes, she can keep coming in and grabbing some of the balance on this Visa throughout the months. And this Victoria's Secret that she's going to be paying off very easily. We actually could have got that in the first month. But the point is that when you're transferring high interest lines of credit into lower interest lines of credit, you're winning right there. But when you're putting it all in one, to where all of these different payments she was making before, all of this different interest that was being charged before is now in one fund. Your income's going in, satisfying the payment there. Your expenses come back out, and you just sit back and relax while you are watching your balances come down. Is there a more peaceful life than using a line of credit? I'm not sure, but it's pretty close, and it is pretty fun. Once you get involved with how those lines work, you'll never go back to loans again. And you'll use credit cards only for the cash rewards. Turn your financial life around and see if it doesn't make a real difference for you just transferring your debt into tools that you can control. You can control this. This is a fast pay down. These credit cards are probably going to take her 24 years to pay off, just making that minimum payment. Now she's just income in, expenses out, and watching those balances go down, and they're going to go down fast. So I am excited to share this with you. I hope it gives you a little bit of hope that you too can turn a negative cash flow into a positive one, maybe with just a little tweak of the tool that you're using, that your debt is currently sitting in. Maybe you can move it, and if you can, it may make all the difference in the world to your finances. I hope that this video brought value to you today. I'm trying to bring different scenarios that can help you in your situation to maybe fill that gap that you're looking for as to the aha moment of this is what I need to do with my finances. I know regardless, you all are going to do great. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I so enjoy reading your comments, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.